Hey guys, welcome back to BeautyBook. Today I'm going to be going over my full face foundation routine. This includes cream contour, highlight, how to set it, everything like that. So if you enjoy this video, then make sure you like, comment, subscribe to my channel. And now let's get into it. The first thing we're going to do is start with a fresh face. I did my eye makeup, but I washed my face before. So now I'm going to go straight into my moisturizer. And my skin's been very dry, so I'm gonna go a little heavy on the moisturizer. And the one I've been liking, it's a Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream. And don't mind my finger, I broke a nail and I covered it with a band-aid because I don't want to see it. So just massaging that moisturizer into my skin. Make sure to get your neck. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the facial spray. This is a Rose Water Facial Spray by Mario. I love the way this stuff smells. Once that dries a little bit, I'm going to go in with my primer. And today I'm using the Fenty Beauty Primer by Rihanna. Another one of my favorites is the Porefessional. But my skin is feeling really dry today, so I'm going to go in with the Rihanna one because it's a little more moisturizing. And I just use about 2 pumps. It is really important to go in with a moisturizer, not necessarily a primer, but it is very important. Even if your skin is oily, I would always recommend using a moisturizer and a spray after like a toner, because in the long run it really does help your skin, and it makes it look even more flawless than just going on with the foundation directly. Now I have my moisturizer, my facial spray, and my primer on. Next thing I'm going to do is go in with my foundation. And today I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible, the Pro Matte one. I really want to try the Pro Glow, but since my skin has always been oily, except for today, I'm going to go in with the Pro Matte. And I'm in the shade 107 Fresh Beige. And to apply this foundation, I'm using the Real Techniques brush. And I'm just putting a couple dots on my brush. And I just like to distribute it first and then go ahead and blend it. And I'm not pressing it too hard. I'm going in circular motions. Making sure you get the ears and your neck. To save time, I went and did my eye makeup first, but if you are using like glitter or doing like a really heavy look on your eyes, then I would recommend doing your eyes first because there will be a lot of fallout. Now if you want, you can stop there and just use 1 layer of foundation, but if you want to go for something a little heavier, add another layer and build up on this. And I feel like this foundation is medium to full coverage. It's definitely buildable. Once you've applied your foundation, I'm going to go ahead and go in with the LA Girl Pro Concealer. And I'm using the shade Creamy Beige. And y'all know how much I love my Tarte Shape Tape. I'm trying to step out of my comfort zone and use something else. So let's try this. I'm going to make a line straight down my nose and then across my eyes. And then just fill it in. Make sure you get the sides of your nose, and now down the center and on your forehead, and just a little bit on your chin. And to blend all that in, I'm going to use this mini beauty blender, and I'm just going to pat that concealer into my skin. I'm not necessarily moving it around, but I'm literally just patting it into my skin. And you can always use a regular beauty blender. You don't need to have this small one. I just have it, so I'm using it. And if these corners are kind of hard to get into, just take your fingers and blend it. And whatever is left on the blender, I'm just taking it up to my temples a little bit. Just to make sure that there's no harsh lines or the edges are fine, I'm just going to kind of go over it with my brush, the same brush I used to put on my foundation. And now to contour, I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Concealer, and I'm going in the color Chestnut. So not going in too much of a diagonal, but just a little bit slanted. And the same thing with this side, that they're both even. Just like that. And then I'm just going to put a little bit on my sides, underneath my lip, and on my forehead. And now I'm just going to go back in and make it a little bit thicker from the edges. And now I'm going to take a big beauty blender and I'm going to press that in. I'm going to try not to move the product too much, but just blend it in. And it helps if you like want to do one of these kissy faces. And if you feel like your sponge is a little dry, just spray it. This I'm going a little heavy-handed because I really do want the product to melt. Whatever is left on my sponge, I'm going to take it down. And I'm doing the same thing. And you don't want to bring in the contour in too much because then your face will look really closed down or closed in. I kind of stop it in the middle of my eyeball. Now, before I set everything, I'm just going to go back in and hit it with that little beauty blender one more time to make sure nothing creased before we had set it. If you want, you can go ahead and set your foundation and contour right now, or you can go back in with a little bit of highlighter, and I'm using the Prep and Prime in Light Boost just to brighten up my eyes a bit more. The reason why I didn't use the contour on my nose is because I prefer powder contour on my nose than cream because I feel like it just makes it look too muddy. To set everything in place, I'm using the RCMA No Color Powder mixed in with the banana powder. I'm using the Morphe M433 to set all the places I had highlighted. Not the contour places, but just the place I had highlighted. So underneath my eyes, down my nose, on my forehead, my chin, and I'm just gonna put some on my smile lines. I really concentrate on putting the powders in my inner corner because that's where I crease up the most and the fastest. Now to darken up my contour and set it with a powder, I'm going to use this Real Techniques tool brush. To contour, I'm using Give Me Sun by MAC. This is more for bronzing my face, and I'm doing this very light-handed. Now, if you want, you can stop right there, but if you want to make your contour a little bit deeper, you're going to use a brush like this. I know e.l.f. has one, I know NARS has one. It's basically just like a very straight brush, but the hairs are still very soft. I'm going to use this color right here, and this is the Hoola bronzer. I'm just going to define my cheeks a little bit more. Again, going in with a very light hand. And this really gives you like a straight line. Just to make sure that everything is nice and blended, I'm going to go back in with the brush I used to bronze up my face and make sure there's no harsh lines. And now just to clean up underneath my contour, I'm going to take that same powder and I'm going to dab my beauty blender in it, kind of dust off the excess. And while that sits in a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and do my blush. And for my blush today, I'm going to use Party by Tarte Cosmetics. And I actually really like this blush. It's just like a very neutral pink. And to apply this blush, I'm using this Japanese brush. And I kind of like to go in circular motions and blend my blush into my contour. And now to dust off all the powder, I'm going to use that same brush that we had used to put on our foundation. And now I'm just going to spray my face again. And for my highlight today, I'm going to use this highlight by MAC, and it's called Soft and Gentle. This is like one of my all-time favorites. And a little bit above my eyebrow arch. And I'm just taking my finger and putting it right on the tip of my nose and just a little bit on the bridge. Alright guys, I just fixed my hair, put on my earrings, and now this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel.